It's time for Rebel Sports on mylocalradio.com and 98.3 KADQ. Rebel Sports is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Power, Ready, Rich School District, Town of Randolph, Evanston Regional Hospital, Come On In, Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, T7 Propane, Station on Main, Stacy's Repair, Ellingford Brothers, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, Jimmy John's, Dr. McKay Frankum, Crawford Trough, Woodruff Corner Store, Our Bakery, Mound Valley Cattle Company, and the town of Garden City.
Welcome to all of our listeners out there listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM and listening online at mylocalradio.com. This is Voice of the Rebels, Bradley Holmes, and I've got a special guest with me today, my dad, Coach Dave Holmes. Dad, thanks for being on with me today as we have a hopefully great day of volleyball today.
Well, thanks, Bradley. It's great to be here. It's always fun to come to a state tournament, and I'm excited to see some good volleyball today as well.
And we are in a very familiar location, Richfield, Utah, the mecca of all things 1A sports. And there's some 1A, 2A, and 3A action going on down here this weekend. But the team we care about is the Lady Rebels from Rich High School, and they are on the court as we speak, warming up. And we will have it all for you here on My Local Radio and on 98.3 KDQ FM. The girls have a tough task today. They are in a win-or-go-home situation as they are fighting to get into that 5th and 7th place game later on today. But first they will have the tough task of playing the Monticello Buckaroos, the number 5 seed in this tournament, and that's going to take place in about a half hour. And we've got a great pregame show for you today brought to you by the Ellingford Brothers. And we've got some interviews to go through, some great stuff to talk about before this tips off at 9:15. And so we will go to a break. When we come back, it is our standout student interview. I was able to catch up with Leah Peterson this week, and we will go to that after the break. Once again, this is a T7 Propane production of Lady Rebel Volleyball, online at mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
I am here with Leah Peterson, part of our Standout Student segment. Leah is the daughter of Troy and Tanya Peterson. She lives in Garden City and is an integral part of the volleyball team this year. And Leah, how are you feeling about this big weekend coming up?
There's definitely a lot of pressure, but I'm very excited because the team has definitely had a rough start in the beginning of the season, but throughout the season we have just gone a lot better and are starting to click a lot more, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, and Leah, let's talk about that because, the beginning of the season was a rocky start. Most of you had new positions, or some of you had not played varsity in any capacity yet, and you older ones kind of had to carry the load. What was the turning point that helped you guys to really find that chemistry and start getting those wins, like the 2 big Tabiona wins? What led to that?
So we had a game against Grace, and it was definitely a better school. And one of the sets, we switched something up with our setters and our back row. And I don't know really why, but that definitely helped us a lot because we ended up getting like a set from them, and then from there we've had a lot more wins, and we just been more on a streak. So whatever we changed that day just really helped us a lot.
Definitely, because the next day is when you had that big road win against Taviona in 5, and yeah, I agree with you. Ever since then, even in the losses to the bigger schools like North St. Pete, North Summit, and Emory, you guys have looked awesome. And what do you feel like needs to happen this weekend? Because you guys have a really great opportunity, and I honestly feel like you have just as good a chance as anyone to go down there and make some noise. But it's going to be a tough road, starting with Taviona and then having the number 1 seed Valley the next game. What needs to happen for you guys to be able to have a good run down at state?
Definitely depends on our attitudes and whether we just really talk to each other, because when we communicate the whole time, just lift each other up the whole time, we play our best games. And I would definitely say when we attack the ball, because some of our harder games is when we were tipping, and that just wasn't good. And our better games like Taviona, we were attacking and swinging the ball every time, and that definitely helped a lot.
You've had a great year, Leah. It's been fun to watch it. Do you play club volleyball in the off season?
I'm going to try out next year, but right now I just have a coach that I work with during the off season.
Cool. And that's why I wanted to ask you. It seems that you have gone all in on volleyball, which is awesome. You'll be doing it in the off season this winter. What makes it, what do you love about volleyball to make it so that you want to dedicate all of your time to it?
I feel like volleyball, you can definitely bond more as a team rather than basketball, and there's a lot more to get excited about, and then your teammates, it's just very easy to get excited and celebrate with their teams after each point.
So you just love the atmosphere and the flow of the game in volleyball?
Yes.
Leah, let's segue into school and how things are going there. You're a junior this year. You've got one more year to go. What are your plans after high school? I know you've, like I just said, you've got one more year to go, but what are your plans after high school at this point in time?
I do want to try playing at a college with volleyball, because I've been working really hard for it, so it would be very fun to go and play somewhere. And just get like a small degree or something like that.
Yeah, you've had 2 siblings go and play sports at the next level, so I'm sure that's had a big impact that you've seen that it is possible. I mean, a lot of times, smaller school, we limit ourselves to think that, that's it. But you've seen just in your own family, 2 sisters that have gone on to play at the next level. Well, Leah, that's awesome. And I always end our segments with, who is a teacher that has had an impact on you the last 3 years at Rich High School that you don't have to choose a favorite or anything, but one teacher in particular thus far that's had a positive impact on your life?
I would have to say Lex Cornea. He just gives lots of great life advice, and if you ever need him, he's always willing to give you his best opinions and advice. But I also have to say Cody Lundgren as well. They are always open to listening, and they will give you their best opinions.
Well, that's awesome, Leah. Well, good luck this weekend. You've had a great year. I'm sure this weekend's going to be great for you guys, and proud of how you guys have overcome so much this year. And it's only going to go up from here, right? I mean, this is a good build up for your senior year as well.
Yes, thank you.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cashback for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
When you have an emergency, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Open 24/7, the professional emergency room staff is trained for trauma, medical, cardiac, pediatric, orthopedic, and obstetric emergencies. Bear Lake Memorial is a critical access level 3 trauma center, offering immediate access to radiology, lab services, surgery, and internal medicine consults. The ER teams are well-trained professionals who are ready to act when you have an emergency. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
I'm here during our pregame show, and this is a segment I always look forward to, the Where Are They Now segment. And I've got my friend Patrick Floyd here. Patrick is a Rich High School alumni. And Patrick, thanks for taking time out of your day to chat with me about Rich High School.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Bradley.
Patrick and I went to high school for 1 year together. Patrick, you graduated in 2006, correct?
2007.
So Patrick graduated in 2007 from Rich High School. And Patrick, tell us about what's going on in your life right now, about your family. You own your own business, so tell us a little bit about that. And then we'll talk a little bit about your time at Rich High School.
Yeah, I live in Lake Town. My family, my wife and I moved back in 2013, just right after our oldest was born. And we've got 4 little people to keep us on our toes. We had our oldest Addie, and then our twin girls, and then our youngest Ethan came a couple years ago. And life's complete in that realm. Currently, we run Chad's Raspberry Kitchen. Bought that from my parents and continue to grow that, doing all the raspberry products still by hand. And then we also had the opportunity. We bought the little drive-in here in Lake Town, so we run some beaches now. We've taken that and turned it to, I'm proud to say one of the best places to eat in Bear Lake, especially in the summer. Then doing catering. I work a lot here with Bradley, doing some corporate groups and stuff in the off season. So that's my life in a nutshell. I'm either jamming or cooking somewhere.
And you do a great job at it, Patrick. Like Patrick said, he and I work a lot together. We bring groups into Bear Lake to have a fun time on retreats, and Patrick does a great job at feeding them, and he's a favorite of many. And I will agree, you've got one of the best places to eat in the summertime there at some beaches in Lake Town. So Patrick, what led you to get into the restaurant business?
Yeah, it was honestly in high school. One of my classmates, it was kind of an idea that we had floated before, graduation. And, I had, working for people here in Bear Lake, and, maybe, hey, you'll come back and put a restaurant on this piece of land or something. And then I went on my mission, came back 2 years later, and the whole world had changed over the Great Recession. So all that kind of changed. And, it was kind of a bygone idea that we had. We looked at a couple that have been leased throughout the years, and they weren't really on the table for us. We actually looked at buying the place we have now at one point, and just financially to make it work for us. And when the people who had bought it from Merlin's came to us, said, hey, we knew you were interested. Would you like to take it from us? We kind of pitched them a dream deal, and they actually went for it. And so we really couldn't back out at that point. So, I was never the restaurant guy. I was always supposed to be like the manager behind it. I'll take care of all the stuff. I'm not going to be involved with the food part, but it just didn't turn out that way. And so, I've found a good seasonality to my career, where, summertime I'm working with a bunch of, amazing youth from our high school, from Cokeville High, from other high schools around us. I get to work with these awesome youth. They're almost like little brothers and sisters to me because I'm just as immature as they are. And then, I get to work with these corporate guys. I get to work with these big grocery chains, and we're going to this huge fancy food show in Vegas in January to go do some nationwide coverage and see if we can get some really big customers. So I get all this seasonality to my year. And it's really nice because about every 3 months I'm sick of it, and so I'm sick of whatever I'm doing, and it's kind of fun to the ebb and flow, but the relationships I've developed in the restaurant, especially with a lot of these youth from these high schools. Honestly, feeding people is awesome. The most rewarding thing is working with a lot of these kids. There's some really fantastic kids out here.
Yeah, there are. And Patrick, that's awesome that you're having such a good experience, and with that seasonality, being able to have such a variety going on in your life for you and your family. And so we'll back to your time at Rich High School. Patrick, what were some of the things that were highlights of your time, those 4 years at Rich High School leading up to your graduation in the spring of '07?
You know, I had really good coaches, especially like in the wrestling program. Craig Hoffman and Rick Larson took me under their wing and taught me a lot there. But even, like in basketball, Brian Thompson was an excellent person for me. He was there for me. I could lean on him and talk to him. Even when I didn't play ball, he would always come up to me and whenever he saw me and made sure I was okay. So yeah, obviously we've got a wonderful staff. We did then, we do now. I see how a lot of these teachers act, and I get to hear all the funny stories working with a lot of these high school kids of who's the good teacher, who's the bad
Right.
teacher.
Yeah.
But even before that, people like Justin Grohl. Justin Grohl was a big influence in my life. And in middle school, and he wasn't in the high school, but he was a huge giant in my life and helped me out some tough situations. And I'm grateful looking back. Rich High is not perfect, and I grumble a lot because it's not because I don't like how the high school is now. It's just that I want it to always be better. Continually to improve, and that's just how I live my life. And there's not every opportunity for our kids, but some of the missed opportunities, it's not worth what some of these other kids and other schools have to deal with.
It's a trade-off.
The trade-off is not worth it. These are great schools with staff who knows the kids by name in every grade. They're not just a number to them; they're actual human beings. So
Absolutely. And talking about the staff, Patrick, I always like to end these interviews each week asking an alumni, and you've definitely touched on some great ones. Talking about Coach Grohl and Coach Larson, and is there one teacher that, and I'm sure you had a few, but one teacher that really had a positive impact on your life during those 4 years that have, you still feel that positive impact today?
Obviously, everyone that I've already mentioned. Ones that I haven't mentioned, Coach Smith, he's my math teacher, for heaven's sakes. I never had the opportunity to have him coach me, but, you see him in, go to Evanston, go to dinner and see him in Don Pedro's or something like that, and he's just a great guy,
Mm-hmm.
and
for sure.
Man, you're going to put me away. I live next to, our old music teacher, Mr. Williamson. And, there's a lot. I'm not going to pick one, I'm not going to go down that road, man. There's a lot that I haven't mentioned, from, Brother Leifson, all of them. It's a good setup. It's a good setup. It's a good situation, good environment.
It is. And we might be biased, but I feel like our time, and I've talked to others that were around our time at Rich High School, that we were fortunate to have some really awesome staff. And it's fun that, a lot of the staff now are kids that we went to school with or that were just a little bit older than us. And it's awesome to see that involvement. But yeah, during that era, the mid to late 2000s, some great teachers at Rich High School. So Patrick, thanks for taking time to chat with me, take time out of your day. And we wish you and your family and your business well, and happy that things are going so great for you. And thanks for being a supporter of Rich High School. And, we will for sure talk again soon.
Sounds good. Hey, go Rebels. Take state this year.
It's the best feeling when you've had a long drive and you see your hotel, the Come On Inn, Casper. That means your day just got better. At the Come On Inn, you have lots of options. Unwind in the hot tub, go for a swim, relax in the beautiful atrium, and sleep in total comfort. Centrally located, the Come On Inn is close to everything. In the morning, start your day with a delicious breakfast. Top it all off with an amazing, friendly staff who is always glad to see you. It doesn't get better than that. When you're in Casper, always stay at the Come On Inn.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
The town of Garden City is home to beautiful Bear Lake, where families play together. We welcome you to Garden City and invite you to visit bearlake.org for places to explore and information on upcoming events year-round. The town of Garden City welcomes you as we cheer on the Rich Rebels.
I am here with Coach Wasden for our final interview of the 2024 season, as it's state week. But Coach, pretty exciting times. I mean, regardless of what year it is, state's always a fun, exciting thing to look forward to. And you've had an awesome year and had a lot of good battles this year. And now it's time. Now it's time for the state tournament. And how are you feeling? How are your girls feeling? What are the emotions in the gym like so far?
I think everyone's pretty excited about state. I think we are all looking forward to going out there and doing the best that we can do, and with the hope of going out and winning state. You know, it's going to be such a fun weekend, and just looking at the bracket here, and as I say, this will air as the tournament goes on, but we will start things off with a bang, playing Tabiona down first match 3:30 on Friday. And then, Coach, our side of the bracket, I mean, taking state this year would be, I would say, one of the most hard-earned championships ever, because we have Tabiona the first game, which we've had two great matches with them where we've been victorious both times. That would lead us to number one Valley, who's had a great year. And then another shot at Manila, which I know you would love. I would love that. I'm sure the girls would love another shot at Manila. That would be the semifinal game. And then, you know, on the other side of the bracket, Panguitch is obviously one to keep an eye on coming out of that other side. But an opportunity for some really awesome matches, Coach. And, you know, I think of those Manila matches that we had earlier this year. I feel like we have an absolutely different team going down to Richfield this weekend. Would you agree with that compared to when those Manila matches happened earlier this year? Oh yeah, 100%. Yes, we are a different team, different rotations. Yes, and the skills. What I told the girls last night, they said, you guys are doing things right now, and it's nice to watch you do that. So yeah. So for sure, a different team mentally and in the game of volleyball.
And, you know, just recapping the end of the season, Coach, obviously the highlight is the sweep against Tabiona at home. And you hear the saying, well, it's tough being a team three times. But what I say to that is even when we beat Tabiona in 5 at Tabiona, we were still trying to figure out who we were at that point. We had the Grace match the night before where things started to click. You know, we had switched back to the 5-1, and it seems like we were still figuring out who we were. So this is our third game with Tabiona, but really second time we played them where we're who we know we can be and have that confidence. Regardless, that'll be a battle for sure. And yes, you know, Rich usually goes down in that first match isn't one that people are going to tune into, but it's going to be an awesome way to get things going right off the bat down at state.
Yeah, we're excited to go play Tabby again. And like you said, it's not to go in state this year would not be a walkthrough. It is going to be every match is going to be a battle, and we're ready for that battle.
It excites me, Coach. I think, you know, I guarantee, you know, Coach Larson on the football side would love to have a dogfight this week, you know, in the quarterfinals, and that's probably not going to be the case, you know. And if you're a competitor, you want competition. And so your girls are going to get a whole lot of it this weekend, which I know your personality is similar to mine in that that's something that excites you. It's not something that you dread. You're looking forward to it. And just for our viewers to know, I just want to pull this up here as I'm talking, but the end of our season, we faced a great North Summit team who was number 2 in 2A, and 2A historically is very good.
Yes.
We played Emory, who's number 5 in 3A. That's where they ended up. North St. Pete, who's number 2. Those are just off the top of my head, ones that we finished our season playing and battled with. We played Panguitch at Richfield, and it was only a best of 3, but it was the second set, correct? Where we had to go past 25. So obviously that is a toss-up matchup, and that's who's number 2 in our bracket. So, Coach, you've done some great things this year with this team, as it was a rocky start. That, and you made the adjustments needed, and I think you've got a great team going down to Richfield this week.
Yeah, a great team that's had huge growth this year, which has been super exciting. And
apologies, we got to cut short my interview with Coach Wasden as we are just getting ready to go here as the Lady Rebels are taking the court. Coach, let's hurry and go through the keys of the game as we're getting started here. Give us 3 things that the Lady Rebels will need to do today to stay alive and make it to that 5th place game.
Well, I'd say number 1, they got to bring energy. I felt like last night against Valley, we didn't bring the energy that we needed to. Valley had more energy than us, so I thought that was the difference in the game. I feel like we need to be aggressive at the net. Monticello has some tall girls, so we're going to have to be very aggressive at the net today. And serving. We need to get serves on point today. There's nothing that hurts a team more when you have unforced errors. So I believe those are 3 keys that the Lady Rebels need to have today to win this match.
Agreed. And as we look at this Monticello Buckaroo team, as you said, they do pass the eye test. They're tall. They're big, and they're able to hit the ball as we were watching them warm up. So this is going to be a big test for the Lady Rebels. But they can certainly beat this team. Looking at they do have a better seed than we did coming in. I looked at their schedule and their results from this year. Very similar season as we've had. They went 8-0 in their own region, which I will say Rich comes from a much better region than Monticello does. So that doesn't carry a whole ton of weight, other than they've won a lot of games this year, more than we have. And so that sometimes will work in your favor when you're used to winning. But the Lady Rebels, they've had some great games they've won this year, including the Tabiona game, beating them a 3rd time. A win like that will carry some momentum. So, and here we go. Monticello will start out serving to Rich, to Weston, and then to Pugmire, and Smith gets it across the net. Monticello then tips it over. That does hit our middle blocker's fingertips, but hits the ground as Monticello will strike first here in this early set. And once again, thanks for listening in today. If you are listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM or online at mylocalradio.com. And I'm going to ask Coach to take over so I can get my wife into the game real quick. I'll be back in just 2 minutes. So, Coach, you take over for just a quick second.
Okay. Monticello served. They're up 1-0. And there's a kill by Molly Weston. That will tie the score up to 1-1. So we now have Brindley Hatch serving for the Lady Rebels. Monticello passes it up at the net, over. Cassie Yargow pass. Braylon Pugmire over the net. We got a good rally going. Braylon with another hit over the net. A lot of good rally, a good rally here. And there's a point by Monticello as Rich could not return that hit over the net. So that makes the score 2-1 for Monticello. We have Josie Knight serving for Monticello. Back to Cassie, and that's going to be an ace for Monticello. So that brings the score to 3-1 for Monticello. Monticello serving to the Lady Rebels. Cassie Argyle on the pass. Set up to Molly Weston, and she is blocked at the net. Point for Monticello, which makes the score 4-1 in favor of Monticello. Monticello serves. Back to Molly Weston. Over to Bray Lynn. She is blocked at the net. Recovered. Monticello brings it back over the net. Tess Cornea with the assist to Molly Weston. Molly Weston with the kill. That brings the score to 4-2. Bray Lynn Pugmire is serving, and she serves long. So there's a service error, which brings the score to Monticello 5, Rich Rebels 2. Monticello will be serving to the Lady Rebels. Here's a serve. Molly with the pass over by Leah. And that was over the net and blocked by Rich, but went out of bounds. So that'll be a point for Monticello, which brings the score 6-2 for Monticello. Welcome back, Bradley.
Thank you, and I'll get our scoreboard adjusted here. Yep, 6-2 early on here in favor of Monticello as they serve across to Smith. Cornea setting up Weston on the outside, and that'll be a good kill. Monticello tries to block that, but it goes right off their hands and hits the ground, giving the Rebels a much-needed kill, 6-3. So Pugmire comes in to serve across to the Buckaroos. She will do so, and the Buckaroos keep this one alive, setting up for the outside, which they do. A nice soft tip that will hit the ground, 7-3 for Monticello.
Marley Mack from Monticello with that kill.
So Marley Mack, a good kill there to extend the lead for the Lady Buckaroos. And like we said, this is going to be a big test for the Lady Rebels to stay alive here down in Richfield. Cornea sets up Chasley on the outside, and that will be out. 8-3. Not the ideal start for the Lady Rebels. They're going to want to make sure and battle this one back and cut this margin down as Monticello serves across again to the Rebels. That'll go to Pugmire, to Cornea, setting up Peterson in the middle. Monticello's able to keep that one alive, and they get it to the outside once again, but that goes into the net. A much-needed error in favor of the Rebels as they do get the ball back now, sending Paige Smith back to the service line.
Bradley, the Lady Rebels need to get a little bit more aggressive at the net.
We will see if they do that here as Paige sets it across to Monticello. Was that tipped? No, it was not. Out of bounds. Big, strong hit by Monticello, but out of bounds. The Rebels looking to go on a run here. Now down just 8-5 with Smith back at the service line again. She has a good, strong serve across the net.
Great serve, great serve.
Great serve. That is just off the back row, out of bounds. Rebels cut this one just to a 2-point deficit now. As I said before, it'd be great to go on a run here for the Rebels.
Well, and just like any other sport, you need to get momentum and get on a run. It does wonders for your team.
So Monticello received the serve. They send it back. Chasley, a good hit there, but it is returned by Monticello once again. The Rebels trying to set something up. Hatch just tips it over. Monticello now setting it up to the outside, which they do. Rebels keep it alive. Cornea to Chasley on the outside, and that is in.
What a great kill by Chasley on that one.
Chasley's had a great season and once again shows her power on the outside of the net there as she gets a good kill. Rebels now just down one, looking to even this one up on this serve as Smith puts it across. Monticello gets it into the air, setting up in the middle. And that is a kill. Good kill there by Monticello as they will now get the ball back at the service line, up 9-7 in this first set. Well, Coach, this one is going to be a battle just like we talked about. The Rebels need to overtake a lead here. That's something they struggled with last night against Valley, not able to really take a lead. That would be great. Here's Weston, gets a good dig and pass up to Cornea to Hatch. Monticello not able to keep it alive on their side. Rich will get the ball back now, just down one. Tess Cornea going back to the service line. Tess has had a good season serving as she puts it right across to Monticello. They get it up front to up into the front row, and they try to keep it alive, which they do. Over to Cornea, to Smith, outside to Pugmire. She puts it just over. Monticello keeps it alive, but too much. They put it out of the back row.
That was a great block by the Lady Rebels on that rally. That earned us a point there.
Yep, and now we'll tie it up at 9 as Tess serves it across to Monticello. They get it back up in the air, trying to get it across the net, which they do to Weston. Cornea setting up Chaseley on the outside once again, and that is just out of bounds.
Just out. That was close.
Monticello takes back this lead. We have a boxing match going on, exchanging blows back and forth. Monticello finds himself up just one here now as they serve across to the Rebels, and this will be number 2, Marley Mack, serving to the Rebels.
These are two evenly matched teams, Bradley.
Yep, as I said before, very similar seasons as both are trying to stay alive down here at State. Hatch just tips it over to Monticello. Monticello trying to keep things alive. They put it back over to the Rebels, to Pugmire, to Cornea, back to Pugmire.
Block to the net.
Pugmire really had big eyes on that one, trying to get a good kill, and she almost had it, but into the net. The Lady Buckaroos up 11-9 as Mack heads back to the service line, trying to extend this lead for her side. She'll serve across to Weston. Up front to Cornea, who sets up. Chaseley again, a great cross-court kill for Chaseley. Rebels down just one, 11-10 in favor of the Buckaroos.
That was a great pass to Chaseley, and great kill.
Yep, that was a great 1-2-3 punch on that one as Cassie Argyle checks in and is now back at the service line. She gets it across to Monticello. They set it up to the outside. Molly gets it up on a good pass to Page, to Pugmire, and Monticello will now try again to get it across, which they do. And that is to Tess, to Smith. Weston just tips it over. Monticello now trying to set up again. Rebels get a good block, but then it goes out of bounds. Monticello up 12-10.
Yep. We blocked at the net. It was tipped, but it went out of bounds. So point Monticello.
So Monticello back to serve now, up to 12-10. Serving across to the Rebels. That tips the top of the net but stays alive, and the Rebels try to get it back to get a point, and they will. Despite the best efforts of Monticello, the Rebels able to get a point there.
Boy, that's tough when you're serving and it just barely goes over the net, actually tipped the net, but the Lady Rebels did a great job of finding the ball and finding a way to get a point.
Yep, they handled it well as Hatch looks to serve across. A good jump serve over across to Monticello as they set up onto the outside. Good kill there by Monticello. The Rebels are not able to take over this lead here as they get within 1 point each time, and Monticello does extend it to 2 once again.
Elise Lewis is very tough at the net for Monticello. That's her second kill.
Yep, she's been a problem early on here in this game.
That looks long.
Yep, Monticello way out of bounds on the back row as Pugmire will go back to serve. Bray Pugmire, that is, as she will serve across to Monticello, really trying to take this lead as the Rebels are down just 13-12. Bray, a good serve. That will not be handled by Monticello. We are tied up at 13 apiece here in the first set. Once again, this is the play-in game to get into the 5th and 7th place game. Winner stays, loser goes home. This is a do-or-die match for the Rebels as Bray serves across again. A great serve once again.
2 aces in a row for Bray. That was a great serve.
So Bray looking to go on a run here. She just got her team on top 14-13. Once again here in the first set for the Rebels. Bray to serve. She gets it across. This time Monticello does handle it, and they put it back across to the Rebels. Great pass there by Page to keep it alive. Great dig by Bray. Peterson puts it over. It is kept alive, and that'll be too far. Yep, Monticello hits it out of bounds. The Rebels now up to 15-13.
Boy, it's nice to get a little bit of momentum here.
Yep. Yeah, and Monticello is going to take a timeout as the momentum has shifted to the Rebels. We're going to take a break. This is a T7 Propane production of Rich High Rebel Volleyball. Online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
We are back here in Richfield, Utah at the Sevier Valley Center as the Rich High Rebels take on the Lady Buckaroos. And Coach, what's your take so far as we're halfway through the first set?
Well, it's the momentum. Monticello had momentum early in the match, but Rich has come back with a little momentum of their own. So it's a game of runs, and right now Rich is on a little bit of a run.
As Bray did serve it across, and now we have a good volley going on between them. Great dig there by Monticello as Peterson had a good attempted kill there. They get it across to Pugmire, to Cornea, setting up Peterson again. That is just tipped over as Monticello. Great effort there by the Rebels to keep this thing alive. This is a great volley back and forth. Great effort on both sides as Smith did a great job keeping that one alive. And
just out.
The Rebels do hit it out of bounds. That was a great effort on both sides, like I say, but the Monticello Buckaroos, the winner of that volley, now just down 15-14 as number 30, Kaylee Adair, is going to serve across to the Rebels. Smith, good dig there up to Cornea, who sets up Argyle, who just sets it across. Monticello getting it to the outside, which they do, directly to Smith, who puts it up to Cornea, setting up Weston on the outside. Good dig there by Monticello, puts it at the front row. Good block by Peterson, keeping it alive for the Rebels. Cornea just tips it over, and number 2, Marley Mack, tries to tip it back herself and is into the net. Rebels up 16-14.
Boy, that was a great block by Leah.
Yep, that was a big play at the net. Like you said, Coach, we got to be aggressive at the net.
Yep.
And Leah did just that as Pugmire subs in for Weston, serving across to the Buckaroos here, trying to extend this lead. Good serve across to Monticello. They try to set it up in the middle. Another good block by Leah, and that will lead to a Rebel score. Leah, 2 straight good blocks. Rebels now up 17-14. Would love to extend this lead and get a good cushion at the end of the set here. Pugmire serves across again. This is handled by the Buckaroos, but she puts it right at the net. Over across to Smith, to Cornea, setting up Peterson in the middle. The Buckaroos able to keep it alive and get it across. Peterson tries again, and this is tipped and out of bounds. 18-14 for the Rebels. The ref is looking at Monticello's coach, see if she wants a timeout. She does not. Rebels will continue this momentum shift.
This is the biggest lead of the match.
Biggest lead of the match, and she will try to extend it here. Pugmire serves across again. Monticello trying to get something going as they get it to Mack on the outside. Great dig there by Pugmire. It is up to Chaseley, but that will be a double hit. So it's now 18-15 as number 9, Elise Lewis, will serve across to the Lady Rebels. Once again, the Rebels up 18-15 currently. Good serve there.
An ace.
Yep, ace there by Lewis. Rebels not able to answer that. 18-16 for the Lady Rebels here in the first set. Lewis to serve across to the Rebels once again. And she does so this time. Pugmire passes it up to Cornea, who sets up Peterson in the middle. Good dig there by Lewis. Mack has it at the net. They try to get it across. Miscommunication by the Lady Buckaroos there. That will benefit the Rebels, up 19-16 now.
That was a big side out for the Rebels.
As Paige will now take it. We've had good luck with Paige back at the service line to get some rally points, and here we go here. She gets it across. Monticello does keep it alive. That was a good play by that Monticello setter on the second hit just to tip it over, giving a point for her side, 19-17. Oh, excuse me. I guess it was not tipped, so that was a point for the Rebels, 20-16. I thought that was tipped by the Rebel side. We lucked out there. Paige just served it into the net, but in the meantime, a ball from the other court came over, so That voided that serve. Paige gets another shot at it.
Not a bad thing to have a little bit of luck on your side.
It's like a field goal kicker when they go to kick and they miss it, but there was a timeout right before. Monticello, good strong hit, but Paige has a good dig, and this time the Rebels cannot get there on the return hit. 20-17, the Rebels just need 5 points to close out this first set, but Monticello not making that easy today. So number 21, McKenna Peterson back to serve to the Rebels. She does straight to Smith, to Cornea, outside to Chasley. Chasley a good hit, but that is tipped by Monticello. Back to Weston, to Cornea, setting up Chasley again on the outside. This time not handled by the Buckaroos as they tip it, and it goes out of bounds. Good hit there by Chasley. How many kills does Chasley have so far?
3 kills for Chasley this match.
I believe that leads the team this match. Well, she's tied with Molly, it looks like. Cornea, good serve across. Monticello trying to get things going on the outside to Mack. Mack gets it across to Cornea, to Smith, to Chasley, who just sets it over, and the Buckaroos are not ready. 22-17 for the Rebels. They are just 3 points away here. As you said, Coach, 2 very evenly matched teams as we're going to have a timeout here by Monticello as they try to regroup. We'll be back after this.
When was the last time you got to stay at a hotel that had an indoor waterfall and a fish pond? Or a hotel with a swimming pool, a baby pool, and 5 hot tubs? At the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming, you'll get all of this, plus an amazing complimentary breakfast. You can even reserve a suite with a private jacuzzi for 2. The rates are so affordable that every time you're in Casper, you and the whole family can stay without breaking the bank. The best hotel in Casper is the Come On In and Suites. Make your reservations today and come on in.
We are back. We have a dogfight here. The Lady Rebels were down most of this set, but now they have gotten the momentum and have taken this lead up 5, 22-17. I
think it's important to win this first set.
Huge. It's huge. Coming off, both teams had a tough loss yesterday.
Yep.
So this is a tough game to play in, but the Rebels, if they can get some confidence in this first set, you're exactly right. As Cornea will serve across to the Buckaroos. Good pass there as they set up Mack on the outside, who just sets it to the back row of the Rebels, but we're able to handle that as Hatch gets it back across to the Buckaroos as they set up in the middle for Monticello, and that will be off the hands of Smith, giving Monticello that much-needed point. 22-18 as Monticello gets the ball back, and that will send Mack back to serve. Mack serves across to the Rebels, and that is an ace. That's exactly what you do not want to have happen if you're the Rebels. Let Monticello go on a run here as they do come out of that timeout going on a 2-0 run as Mack looking to serve across to the Rebels once again. Great serve last time. We'll see if she does it again. Weston passes it up to Cornea, who sets up Chasley. Monticello keeping this alive on their side. And that will be out of bounds. Big hit by Monticello, but that is out of bounds. Rebels 2 points away from closing this first set out, up 23-19.
Yeah, we got to finish this set, Bradley.
Cassie Argyle will sub in for Chasley and will be back at the service line. Be great to have 2 unanswered here.
There's
Cassie,
one.
great serve there. Goes off the hand of that back row of the Buckaroos. Now we are just 1 away from closing this thing out. Cassie, the senior, goes back to the service line, looking to end this one. She serves across. This time Monticello is able to handle it. They set up, but it will be out of bounds. Lady Rebels take the first set. As you said, Coach, huge win there to start things off here. We're going to go to break. This is a T7 Propane production of Lady Rebel Volleyball, online at mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM.
WattSmart is Rocky Mountain Power's energy efficiency program. WattSmart provides rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency upgrades made around the home. Devices and appliances that use electricity in your home can usually be made more efficient, and that can save you money and energy. When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
When you're hungry for an amazing breakfast, just like Grandma used to make, visit our bakery on Main Street in Randolph. We hand make fresh pastries for you to enjoy. Supporting the Rich Rebels and thanking you for your business, visit our bakery today.
Randolph Medical Clinic is known for comfortably treating acute and chronic conditions as well as mental health. Nurse practitioner Nancy Weston is known for providing compassionate care. Appointments can be made by texting 435-200-5416. Randolph Medical Clinic.
We are back. We'll get this scoreboard reset here as the Rebels do take the first set, which was huge, like you said, Coach. Just a momentum thing as both these teams coming off a hard loss last night. We were just talking at the break. Monticello, the team they lost to, is a familiar foe for the Rebels as Monticello lost in 3 to Manila, but it did not come easy to Manila.
No, there was 3 very close sets yesterday. Like the first set was 26-24, and then 25-18 and 25-20. So Monticello played really well. Yesterday they played well enough to win, but Manila was just a little bit stronger. So this is a good Monticello team, so that was a big win in set 1 for the Lady Rebels.
And for those of you that are interested in the semis today, Manila will take on Valley, who the Lady Rebels lost to yesterday. And on the other side, Panguitch will play. Is it Paiute that they'll be playing in the semis on the other side?
Well, let's see.
Milford.
No. Oh, yeah, looks like Milford.
So Milford and Panguitch will be playing each other on the other side. And currently next to the Rebels on the other court is Monument Valley and Wayne. The winner of the Rich Monticello matchup plays the winner of the Monument Valley Wayne matchup, and that one is 24-23 right now in the first set. So a dogfight right next to us to stay alive as well. And it looks like they just knotted it up, 24 apiece.
Going to go with extra points, it looks like.
Yep, so we'll keep you updated on that matchup as well, as that is of interest to the Rich High Rebel fans, as if we can win this one against Monticello, we have the winner of that matchup later today at noon. So Brindley Hatch will start things off for the Rebels, serving across to Monticello, looking for the first points of this set. Good serve, but that is handled by Monticello, who gets it, tries to get it back across into the net. Rebels strike first, going up 1-0 off of an error of the Lady Buckaroos, as Brindley will go back to serve once again. Brindley, a sky ball type serve, gets it across to Monticello. They try to get something going on the outside. No tip, as that is out of bounds. Rebels going up early in the second set, 2-0.
Boy, it's good to get a good start.
Yeah, it means everything in volleyball, like we've talked about already, the momentum after that score resets especially. Oh, that is in.
Wow, great serve by Brindley.
Brindley, a great serve. That looked out of bounds. Everyone in the gym, but Brindley thought that was out. She knew the whole time that was going to drop right in. So she drops into that back corner. Rebels going up 3-0. Coach, it would be huge to have a 5 to 6 point run here.
Yep.
Monticello does keep this serve alive, but the Rebels, Argyle gets it to Cornea, then to Pugmire, a big kill. Monticello does handle that. Potentially, they do get it across. Good effort there by Monticello. That was a big kill by Bray Pugmire. And right in the middle, Peterson gets it across. A good kill of the back corner. Rebels up 4-0 early on here.
Boy, this is a great start here in set 2.
Yep, you couldn't ask for anything better. This is the Rebel team that we've seen make an appearance numerous times this year. Just a solid team right now. And with the Rebels will tip that hit by Monticello, giving them their first points. So Monticello does get a point on the board, now down 4-1, and they will go back to serve to the Rebels, who hope to keep this run going for themselves. And Monticello will serve it across. Smith gets it up to Cornea, who sets up Pugmire on the outside, and that is tipped by Monticello, correct? Yep, that is a tip. Then goes out of bounds, so the Rebels up now 5-1, as Bray Pugmire will go back to the service line. Bray serves back to the libero for Monticello, and that will not get back across the net. Point for the Rebels, now up 6-1. Bray looking for another ace here.
Third ace of the match for Bray.
Bray gets it across to Mack, who sets up on the outside. Good tip there by those middle blockers for the Rebels, but Monticello does get it across again on the second effort.
That was a great block, but Monticello came right back and a great kill there.
So now we have number 13, Allie Young, serving across to the Rebels, I believe.
It's number 18, Bradley, Josie Mack.
Josie Mack, and that will go out of bounds. The Rebels now up 7-3 with the ball back. 7-2, excuse me.
Yep, great start by the Lady Rebels. Let's keep this momentum going.
Tyler Pugmire comes in for Molly Weston, and she will go back to the service line. Last time, I think Tyler got like 3 points off serves. Try to do it again. Monticello does return that. Ooh, that is a mean kill by, I think that's Mack as well. The sister of number 18. That was Marley Mack, number 2, with the kill. So now number 30, Kaylee Adair, daughter of the athletic director for Monticello, I believe, back to serve.
Probably is.
Yep, that's a well-known Monticello name as she serves it across. Up front to Peterson. Peterson tries to get it, but is tipped back to her. Cornea keeps it alive. Back to Smith, over to Adair. They set up number 9 for Monticello in the middle. Good tip there by Pugmire to keep it alive. Weston gets it across back to Monticello. They're trying to get things going. A battle at the net, which the Rebels will win.
Great block by Chasley.
Chasley Levitt with a big block there at that middle blocker position, putting it right back on the Monticello side. Rebels up 8-2 here in the second set. 8-3, excuse me. Smith serves it across. Nearly an ace, but a good dig by Monticello. They get across to Smith, to Cornea. Hatch tries to get it there. That may have been going out of bounds. Yep. Monticello makes a play for it, and that is off their hands, giving the Rebels a score, 9-3.
Yep, we got a break there, Bradley.
Yep, that was most likely going out of bounds, but Monticello got aggressive, and that falls in our favor. So Page serving across once again. Great serve off the fingertips of, I believe that was Mack in the back row. Rebels up 10-3. Monticello's going to take a timeout. Rebels looking great here in the second set. We'll go to break. This is a T7 Propane production of Rich High Rebel Volleyball, online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today, 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
We are back here at the 1A Volleyball State Tournament in Richfield as the Lady Rebels have come out firing, come out hot in the second set as they find themselves up 10-3 coming out of this timeout by Monticello. Coach, what do we got to keep doing here?
Hey, we just got to keep playing like the way we played. We're being very aggressive at the net, and we've also had some great serves.
So Mack got it on the outside there. A good kill for her that just hits before that back line, giving her team a much-needed point. They are down 6 now, 10-4 for the Rebels as Monticello will serve across. They do. They get it to Smith, who gets it up to Cornea, setting up Chasley on the outside. Great kill by Chasley. She has come alive here. And just a sophomore. There's a handful of sophomores on that other side that I know Coach Wasden's very excited to have.
Yep, that's Chasley's 5th kill of this match.
So 11-4. The Rebels serve across to Monticello, who keep it alive. They get it back to Smith. Cornea sets up Chasley again, just into the net. If that would have cleared the net, that would have absolutely not been returned. So 11-5 now for Monticello as number 21, McKenna Peterson, will go back to serve as the Rebels wait for that serve. She gets it across to Weston. Up front to Cornea, who sets up Chasley once again. That is off the fingertips of the Buckaroos and kept alive. Back to Smith in the back row, to Cornea, outside to Bray, and that is out of bounds.
Just out.
Just out. but they're calling it a tip.
Whoa, awesome.
So that was out, but but it was after it was tipped, so that gives the Rebels a big point. Up now 12-5 as Cassie Argyle comes in to serve. Chaisley goes out, but she did some damage during her time in. So great job to Chaisley Levitt as Cassie, good serve, but that is kept alive by Monticello, just tipped over. And Hatch gets it across. That was tipped.
Yep.
13-5 for the Rebels. They are making it hard for Monticello to be able to crawl back into this one as we now are up nearly 10 points as Cassie looks to get to that 10-point margin, up 13-5. Cassie gets it across, and that is not handled by Monticello. Coach, you can see the body language of Monticello changing on the other side right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're down 14-5. Rebels have come out very aggressive in this set, and looks like it's very hard for Monticello to get back into this thing.
Cassie, another good serve. Monticello is able to handle that. They get it across. Good effort by Smith to try to get that hard hit, but she's not able to keep it in bounds. Monticello now down 14-6 as Mack will go back to serve across to the Rebels.
Rebels got to get a side out here, get this momentum back.
Mack serves across to Smith, up to Cornea, who sets up Pugmire on the outside. That gets down to Monticello, who sets up again to get it across. Rich blocks it onto their own side. Weston hits it right off the hand of a Buckaroo and lands out of bounds for a point for the Rebels. 15-6 now as Brindley Hatch will go back to serve across to Monticello. Brindley, a big high serve, but Monticello able to keep it alive. They get it to the outside to Cornea, to Argyle. Weston tips it over. Monticello once again trying on the outside. They hit it to Hatch. To Cornea, sets up Pugmire on the outside. A good kill, but out of bounds.
Just a little long, Bradley.
Yep, that was just outside that back row line. As number 13, Allie Young, will serve across to the Rebels. She gets it across to Argyle. Cornea tries to get it, but that pass was just a little bit too long, out of bounds. Monticello now getting some momentum, now down 15-8. The Rebels really need to get a point here. As Monticello will serve across. And they do get it across, and that'll be too long. That came at a good time for the Rebels as Monticello was beginning to creep back into this thing, but now Rebels up 8 here in the second set.
Yeah, they had a 2-point run there, but Rebels stopped it.
Able to stifle it as Pugmire serves across to Monticello. They get it to the outside, just barely tip it over. Pugmire keeps it alive to Peterson, then to Smith, but into the net. We're now sitting at 16-9 for the Lady Rebels. Monticello serves it across. There was a miscommunication there between Argyle and Weston as it goes off Weston's hands and out of bounds. 16-10 now. Lady Rebels keeping this lead, but as we saw yesterday, even with a big lead, it's never safe until you hit 25.
Yep, that's absolutely correct.
Monticello serves it across to Smith, up front to Cornea, who sets up Peterson. Monticello able to handle that and keep it alive as they get it across the net to the Rebels. We are only up 5 now. So this has gone from nearly up 10 to up 5. The Rebels really need to stop here.
Elise Lewis for Monticello, she is very good at the net.
Is that number 9? Yeah, she has
9,
been solid.
Yep.
Served across to Argyle to Cornea, setting up Weston, who just tips it over. Kept alive, but there's a ball on the court. They're going to have to call this one dead as a ball from the other side comes into play. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more with 4 games going on on the same floor.
That's a problem when you got 4 courts side by side. Straight ball coming in.
So they'll restart this one, 16-11 in favor of the Rebels as Monticello serves across once again to Smith, to Cornea, and Peterson will try to get that kill, but it will be blocked once again. As you said, Coach Lewis being real solid at that middle blocker position for Monticello.
Yeah, she's tough.
16-12 now for the Rebels, trying to hang on to close out this second set. Monticello battling back here very much so as they get it across to Argyle, who sets up Cornea on the outside to Weston, who just tips it over to Lewis. Setting up Lewis again. Mean kill, but great dig there by Pugmire. She's ready to Cornea. Peterson gets it across. Monticello gets it outside to Mack, and that is in. Coach, we've stopped being aggressive at the net. We're just tipping it over and setting it up for Monticello to get those kills.
Yeah, we got to get more aggressive at the net.
So 16-13, the Lady Rebels trying to hang on here as Monticello serves it across to Argyle, to Cornea, setting up Peterson, who will just tip it over once again. Monticello setting it up to Lewis in the middle. Weston gets it to Cornea, to Pugmire, and that is a much-needed point. It's been a while since we've scored. We went on a dry spell, but now back 17-13. The Rebels now need to get a 2 or 3 point run here. So Pugmire subs in for Weston as she will try to go on a run here as she serves it across. Mack tries to handle it and it hits the ground. Great serve there. Give the Rebels 18-13 point lead. Yeah, if we could get into the 20s here at least, that would give us a good cushion to try to close this one out. Tyler Pugmire gets it across to Monticello, who just sets it across on the second hit. Cornea setting up Chasey on the outside. That is handled by Mack, but they are blowing that one dead. A lift, is that what that was?
Yeah, it looks like that was a lift, so that'll give us a point.
So a lift on the Rebels. I couldn't tell you what a lift is, to be honest.
Well, lift on the Monticello.
They'll call a lift, and I didn't see it, of course, but the professionals called it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you and I's knowledge of volleyball doesn't go very far, Bradley.
No, we're football and basketball guys, but we're happy to be down here at State. We'll stay right here as it is the timeout for Monticello as the Rebels are up 19-13. And just an update on the court next to us. I believe it was Monument Valley Monument Valley won the first set, and they are now up 14-13 in the second set. As I say, both games going on here are win and stay or lose and go home. So both teams fighting to keep alive down here. And the next game will be pretty much a back-to-back, as the next game will be at noon. So I guess there will be a bit of a break. But the next game for the winners of these two matches will play at noon. So both teams back on the floor here. Once again, the Lady Rebels up 19-13, having a battle here down in Richfield. Coach, if we can win this second set, the probability of us closing this thing out are very high, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Once you get up to 2-0, it's hard to come back.
So Monticello does keep it alive after that Pugmire serve. But the Rebels able to hit it down to the ground once again. Did you see who that was?
That was Leah. So
Leah able to get a much-needed point. Now up 20-13 from that middle spot. She's able to hammer it down to the floor as Pugmire back at the service line. Oh, once again, and that just hits the libero for Monticello. Something strange happened on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if they were out of line there or what happened, but we'll take it.
Because the serve went right to the libero, who was not ready for it. Yeah, I think you're right, Coach. They were a bit out of rotation there as they were not ready for that serve, but that does go in favor of the Rebels, now up 21-13. Pugmire serves it across to Mack. They set up Lewis on the outside, who does get it across to Smith, to Cornea, setting up Levitt on the outside. That is kept alive by Monticello. Leah just tips it back over from that middle spot, and it hits the floor, 22-13. Tyla's been back there serving for a while.
I think that was her fifth straight point.
Great job for Tyla, fifth straight point as the Rebels now up 22-13, as just a few minutes ago we were only up 3. Tyla gets it across to Mack. They're trying to set up Lewis, and they do. That was a violent hit.
Yep. Boy, she's good at the net.
Yep, that was Lewis, who's been a problem all game long, and once again there. And it looks like number 4, Marin Freestone, will be back to serve for Monticello, trying to stay alive in this one. She gets it across to Pugmire, up to Cornea, sets up Peterson in the middle, and that is tipped by Monticello, giving the Rebels a point as that went out of bounds. The Rebels just 2 points away from closing out this second straight set. Now we've got Paige Smith back to serve across to Monticello. Paige gets it across. They're trying to set up Lewis again, and they do. That time it's tipped and set back over by Hatch. Great job by Brindley there. Mack gets it across this time. It does hit the floor. 23-15. So Monticello will serve, and that is Lewis back to serve for Monticello as they are on the brink of losing the second set. 23-15. Lewis gets it across to Smith. That was a good serve, but Smith keeps it alive to Cornea. Weston gets it across to Monticello. They're setting up in the middle there. Pugmire keeps it alive to Cornea, to Hatch this time. Off the Buckaroo hand. The Rebels are just 1 point away. Set point here, Coach.
Yeah, that was a great kill by Brindley. We just need one more point here. Tess Cornea's serving.
Cornea serves it across to Mack. They're setting up on the outside. Partially blocked there by Levitt to Smith to Cornea, setting up Pugmire on the outside. That is blocked by Monticello. They keep it alive. They get it across, but that is blocked by the front line by the Rebels. That is kept alive by Monticello as well. Both teams battling. Cornea steps up Levitt on the outside. Tipped once again and kept alive by Monticello. They get it across to Smith, to Cornea. Set point for Hatch potentially. That is blocked. Blocked by Monticello. They're keeping alive, 24-16.
Another great block at the net by number 13, Allie Young.
Now Marley Mack will be back to serve once again. Nope, they changed it up. It'll be 21, McKenna Peterson back to serve. Rebels just need 1 point to close this out, up 24-16. Peterson goes across to Pugmire, to Levitt, to Hatch, and that'll be out of bounds. Just out of bounds there, 24-17.
All we need is 1 point, Bradley.
Yep. Monticello trying to stay in this thing, but the Rebels just need 1 point. Monticello serves it across to Pugmire, to Cornea, who sets up Hatch, who just tips it over, and that'll be enough for the point. Good heads-up play there by Hatch as she saw a hole in the defense and set it right there. The Rebels close this thing out. Now up 2-0 as the sides will change. Why are they shaking hands?
Apparently in the consolation bracket, you only play
2 sets. Wow, so that is it. That is it. The Rebels will move on. So, yeah, consolation. As you noted, we are not volleyball guys. Maybe this is tradition, but the Rebels win 2-0. We thought we were going to a third set, but this is the consolation bracket. So that made it an even bigger second set as the Rebels close this thing out, stay alive, and they will play for the 5th place spot here at state. And so for our viewers, we'll be back. We'll go to a break here, and then our post-game show coming up, we'll talk about this great showing by the Rich High Rebels. This has been a T7 Propane production on mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KADQ FM.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
We are back. great game for the Rebels, as in a best-of-3 match, they go 2-0 to stay alive and to play for that 5th-place spot here down at state. And what a great outing it was, especially that second set.
Yeah, and it's always hard to come back and play the next day after you've lost a tough match the night before. And I worried about how our girls were going to come out and play, but I thought they came out and played very aggressively. Took the first set 25-19, second set 25-17. So it was a great showing for the Rebels in that match.
So let's go to our Crawford Trough player of the game. And as we just said, a lot of contributors today. They showed up as a team, got it done as a team, as you saw in the results there. But we talked about it, and Chaisley Levitt really came out and played well today.
Yeah, I was impressed with Chaisley. She had some great kills at the net. She had some great blocks as well. So I think Chaisley probably deserves player of the game.
And you think about it, Coach, early on in the season, she was not in the rotation, and she's been one that, once she got implemented into the rotation, really helped things give some life to that outside spot. And between her and Bray, Peterson, I mean, we've got a lot of good hitters, and Chaisley had a great game today.
Yeah, there's a great future for the Lady Rebels here. Chaisley, Bray, Molly, all 3 of them are sophomores. All 3 of them are outside hitters for us. So, and I agree with you. Once Chaisley was put into the lineup during the year, it really changed things for the Lady Rebels.
Yep, and a bit of a recap here. So in terms of kills, I mean, this was a spread out effort. Leah had 5 kills, Molly had 4 kills, Chaisley with 5 kills, Brindley with 3 kills, Bray had 2. Aces, we had quite a few. Tyla had 1, Cassie had 2, Chaisley, we have her down as 1, Brindley with 1, Paige 2, and Braylon with 3. So a great all-around team effort. That brings us to the D. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game. Coach, was there one that stuck out to you in those 2 sets that we could, earmark as the player of play of the game?
Well, I would have to say it's the team effort today in that match. I thought Leah, Brindley, Chaisley, our middle blockers.
Yep, they played well at the net.
I thought our middle blockers played really well at the net because Monticello with Elise Lewis, man, she could kill that ball.
Yep, she's good.
But we had some great blocks on her. So I believe the play of the game was just the way our middle blockers, outside blockers played today at the net.
And I want to give a shout out to Tyla Pugmire. She comes in to serve, and she went on that 5-0 run late in the second set. That was huge, as that really extended the gap there. As Monticello had started to creep back in, we were only up 3, and Tyla had come in and helped extend that lead. So
yeah, we were down 3. She comes in, she gets 5 points, extends it to 8, and that pretty much sealed the game for us.
So that'll bring us to our Woodruff Country Corner calendar update. So like we said, one more match today as the Rebels stay alive. I believe on the other side, I think it was Monument Valley that won.
I believe it was. I don't know that for sure, but it looked like that's who it was.
So Monument Valley we will play, assumably, Monument Valley at noon today. We'll have that here on mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM. Pregame show will start right around 11:30 for that game. We'll be excited to bring that one to you. Coach, it's been a rocky year for these Lady Rebels, a real roller coaster. But as Dave Ramsey says, the only ones who get hurt on a roller coaster are ones who jump off. So
I like that.
The Lady Rebels stayed on the roller coaster. They wrote things out. Now they're going to place. They're going to place at state.
Yep.
Something early on that I know a lot of people were worried about. What's the end of the season going to look like? If these Lady Rebels can end in the top 5, that's going to be something to be very proud of. This is a very competitive year. When you have Manila, who's so good, I mean, this is just a year unlike others with the competition.
Yeah, and as you look at our schedule, we lost the last 6 matches of the season. So we came into the state tournament losing six matches.
To some very good teams.
Yeah, to some very good teams. Our last game with North Summit, who's one of the best teams you're going to face. But I got to give credit to our girls. They didn't hang their heads. They came in yesterday afternoon against a tough Tabiona team and got the job done. And then played tough last night against Valley, who's a very, very good team. So my hat's off to Lady Rebels. Like you say, it's been an up and down year for the Lady Rebels, but I think they're playing their best volleyball.
Well, and
here at the state tournament.
And I talked to Coach Wasden. You know, those 6 games that we lost coming into state, you look at who those matchups were. North Summit, they could take state today. North St. Pete, they could take state today. Emory's really good. There was just a lot of good matchups with teams that we're watching today that are winning. And so, yeah, I mean, I think Coach Wasden knew that this was going to be a bit of a building year with losing so many seniors last year on that second place team. But she could have, loaded up the schedule with some easier games for the win column, but she did not shy away from competition, which hats off to her on that. And, if we would have played last night like we did today, I mean, there's a shot that we beat Valley. It's just the way sports are, and it can be brutal sometimes, but they look so good today. The Lady Rebels played awesome today. They deserved that win, and we'll see how we do for that 5th place match.
Yeah, well, and I like the future of Lady Rebel volleyball.
Absolutely.
We only have 2 seniors on the team, so we're playing a lot of younger girls. And what great experience these younger girls have gained here at the state tournament. So, so that'll make them better. And so the future is very bright for Rich volleyball.
Yeah, we gave Chaseley the player of the game. You just think 2 years from now she'll still be out there with a handful of others that were playing today. And our freshman class is really good. There's some great freshman players that played a ton of JV this year. So you're right. The future is bright. But at noon today, 5th and 7th place game for the Lady Rebels. We'll be back to do that. We hope you join us, and thanks for tuning in today.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.